I want to welcome each and every.
Shut up and sit down.
I want to welcome each and every one of you to episode 153 of Third Shift. Holy bajoses, time is flying. I'm having so much fun. Of course, here we are, yet again, another beautiful Thursday, or is it Wednesday? You guys will never know, or maybe you will. I don't know. Hey, regardless of that, we got a great fun episode for you. I am Eric, of course. You should all know me by now, and if you don't, that's who I am. And with me today is the inglorious bastard himself, Mr. Matt. To start this episode off, as we do, because that's what we do. How was your week, Mr. Matt?
Well, I'm going to bust this mystery right out of the water right now. It is Wednesday. No, there's no mysterious.
No,
I ruined it. I ruined everybody's fun right now. Or is it Thursday? Oh, see, I spun it. I just twisted it.
Holy cow.
Now nobody knows. You can't trust me either. Who can be trusted on this show?
Who is trusted?
Nobody.
I was going to say, if you trust either of us, you're a fool. That's for sure.
That's fair. That's true. Hey, especially with something that's going to be coming out later this week. Ooh, spoiler drop. That's a tease. That's a hook right there for later in the episode.
Whoa, yeah,
see if I reel you in on that one. But how's this week been going? I don't even remember. It doesn't feel like I've had a week. Like, I know I did fun stuff, but I can't remember anything, pretty much. I know I did Friday Night Frights on Friday, a little abridged stream. Got to the medical bay and got eaten by the xenomorph like a bunch of times. And I love that game. It's still intense and cool. At least on that point, it almost got to the point where I worry about with horror games. Like when you get caught so many times, it's not scary anymore. It's just, well, there it is. Yeah, I'm screwed. And there were like 2 times that it was like that, where I was like, and you hear and the music stings up, and I'm like, oh, well, I'll try to run. Nope, couldn't do it.
No.
But we're past it now. Hopefully we're into more, not that the last area wasn't interesting, but even more interesting new areas to explore. And I want to see how the synthetics work with the alien and trying to dodge both of them at the same time, or if you can make noise on the synthetics and get it to attack them, or if they just mosey on through in peace. I don't know. I'm looking forward to more of that. That'll be fun. Did I even say that's Alien Isolation? If I didn't, there it is right now. I've been playing Alien Isolation. It's a freaking great game. I love it. Also been playing some more Super Mario Odyssey. I love that game, but I feel like I'm almost at the end. I'm on the... Well, I can't spoil it. I'm on the... I'm not... You go into outer space.
Yeah.
Spoiler. Whatever. But I feel like I'm getting close to the end, but just the variety of levels, even as I get closer to the end. Like, I'm like, I feel like I've seen a bunch of stuff, and then it's, boom, this wholly new themed stage. Oh, it's Bowser's Castle. It's all like feudal Japanese castle stuff. It's just, it's wild, it's crazy. And I said it on something else that I'll talk about in a little bit, but just the joy of throwing your hat on the other enemies and seeing what you can do and what happens when you are that enemy. It's just... It never gets old. It's so much fun. I love that game. That game's freaking great.
Yeah, and not a huge spoiler, but yeah, there's just a few more surprises in the game. So please look forward to that.
I definitely will. Another game I played a little bit of this week, Tetris 99, the Battle Royale Tetris style game. That is so goddamn fun. And I mean, I love Tetris anyway, but just seeing the little, like, you see everybody on the same screen with you. They're like tiny little puzzles for the other players. But then as they get knocked out, there'll be a little KO badge on each one that pops up. And normally, I can't really actively focus on it because I'm too busy playing Tetris on my screen. But when you see, like, the colored blocks aren't moving here, KO, KO. And you take that moment to look down, and it's like you're number 12, and it's like, oh God, stuff's moving faster, and you see the enemy blocks piling up, and you got to dump more stuff on them, you got to figure it out. It's so stressful and intense, but there's never like a I don't know, there's never any negative feeling to me when I lose. It's just, I just lost at Tetris. It's not like I was in combat and got shot and died. Oh, I just didn't make it. And then you hold A and you're queued up again. Boom, more Tetris. Oh, lost. Boom, more Tetris. I only made it to 60 this time. Boom, more Tetris 20. Boom, more Tetris 30. Boom, more. I have to stop playing it. Like, I can play it one day a week. Otherwise, I'll play it all days of all weeks. But it's just so good, though. It's clean and fun and flashy. It's great. I love it. Tetris.
Never been a Tetris guy. Never been a Tetris guy.
Jesus.
I can play it. I'm not an idiot at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I played Mean Bean Machine like for freaking hundreds of years. That one I freaking love for whatever reason. But like Tetris itself, I don't know. I think it was the music. Something about it. I always wanted to go to sleep.
Oh, okay.
It always made me sleep.
I can see that.
So I just have this. Every time I hear Tetris and see it now, I just instantly think sleep, relax, chill out, and I don't like that. I typically don't like anything that makes me want to chill out or go to sleep.
Yeah.
So that's why. Sorry, Tetris. There's nothing against you. Obviously, one of the best games in the entire world. I'm not stupid, but
Another great game in the entire world. You'll talk more about it. Obviously, we streamed some Wolfenstein Youngblood. That was the most fun I've had it feels like in a long time. Even though I had just played Super Mario Odyssey and had a totally different type of fun that morning that I loved and was great. When we got in there, it was to die for. Like, it's just
oh my god! Like, like murder people and die for.
I tried to.
And
like, the Nazis died for my fun. There we go. I did it. It just took me a minute. Hey.
You got there, man. God, I don't know. I feel like I should just jump in right there, but I should also let you just finish out your week, and then I'll jump in right there.
All right. The only other thing I've been doing this week is I don't have it here. I got the old one. Been watching the G1, filling out my bracket. I feel like this year's G1 I can't connect with as much because they replaced a bunch of people, different roster signings across, the wrestling universe. But then every now and then there'll be that one match. Like, there's 5 G1 matches on a card per night, and they're not all like 5-star classics, but there's every now and then there's that one that's that New Japan strong style, just stiff strikes, big suplexes, people like firing up, fighting spirit, no selling the moves, and you can hear the crowd just come up, and the commentators go, "Oh!" and it's just. It gets my blood pumping. It gets my blood boiling. It's so good. I love it. Juice Robinson versus Tomohiro Ishii from a few days ago. Fantastic. Outstanding. It's maybe like jump up. Oh, God. It was so good. So if anybody wants to watch some New Japan, now's the perfect time. It's the G1 Climax Tournament. You're going to love it. And that's the only other stuff I remember from this week. What about you, Eric?
Well, let me tell you. All right. So, to just keep it up where Matt left off at, I'm going to jump around just a tiny bit and say, yes, Saturday night we did Wolfenstein Youngblood, and man, God, it feels good. I love Wolfenstein. I've played them all. I've enjoyed the heck out of them all. This one is no exception. There's been some debate. There's like a lot of wacky, weird, different reviews for this one. Some people are up to the moon with it. Some people are like, man, it's not the Wolfenstein I wanted. Blah. And I can totally see that. I see what they're saying. Yeah. The problem is, and this is what I have with all reviews who do that kind of thing, though, is you're judging it off an opinion, off of what you want it to be. And, of course, at that point, you can have that opinion, and you can have that review. It's your platform. Do what you want. But like I told Matt off screen, once you post a review like that, it's immediately negated for me. Like it means nothing to me because you're like, I wanted Wolfenstein to be a solo player game, and it's not 6.5. Well, sure, you can give that, but you rated it off things that make no sense when it comes to just what is this game and how is this game, not what you wanted this game to be compared to what the game is.
Yeah, you rated it on what it wasn't instead of what it actually is.
Yeah, and that kind of thing, it bugs me, and I've seen it quite a bit with this particular title, hence why I bring it up. Usually I don't bring it up, I don't care. Yeah. I just play the game and have fun. But I've seen it a whole bunch this time around, so I thought I'd just get my little shtick out there, because this is, it's my podcast, and I can say what I want to say.
That's
it's
right.
my opinion.
I think your review of their review is just because you wanted it to be objective, and they were subjective to your review.
But with reviews, of course, coming out like that, I just disregard them, and I go to the ones that I trust, the individuals who really are into Wolfenstein, and then kind of see what they say. And most of those are glowingly positive. And let me tell you, from me and Matt playing, I can agree with that wholeheartedly.
Oh, yeah.
The combat feels freaking great. The speed and movement is just fantastic. You're cruising around this. They give you a power suit in the very beginning of the game, so it just takes away any disbelief. Because at that point, yeah, you're flying around, you're double jumping all over the place, you're getting shot 50,000 times and not dying. And it all makes sense because you're in this badass power suit that was created just for you to kill a million Nazis. It's perfect.
And what feels even better is the peps. I love the peps when I hear you going, oh, I'm down, and I res you and I give you a thumbs up. And she's like, go for it, sis. And it goes, ping, you get a bunch of health, and I go, ping, I get a bunch of health. It's the perfect co-op mechanic. And it even makes sense sort of in the universe because you said we got big stupid power suits. Why couldn't you just, oh, here's the gesture for inject some health into me. Ping, there you go. Devil horns, now you got armor. It feels so good. And like you said, jumping around, bopping around, flying around, it's just, I love it. It's great. I want to play it all the time.
Great. I know. I want to play so bad it's ridiculous. The enemy types, they're larger than they were in the previous Wolfenstein, so there's more of them with more abilities going on. There's this Terminator one that's freaking amazing. I hope we see a whole bunch more of him and maybe a different iteration of him. I don't know. All I know is it's fun. We've already encountered, and we only played the game for a few hours. We've already encountered one of the giant mech bots, looming around, going crazy. That was a good time.
Oh, yeah.
And it's tough. It's not stupid tough, like we're dying every 5 seconds, but it's tough. If we're not paying attention and not like coordinating at least a little bit, you get in bad situations pretty quick.
It's not stupid tough, but it's you can't be stupid tough. That's what it is. If you don't see those armor boxes next to him and switch over to your armor piercing rounds or your heavy rounds or whatever, then yeah, you're going to have a tough time. But it's just that's why it's so fun to play in co-op. If you see the heavy, and I have no idea where he is. Oh, heavy. All right. Even before I engage, I know I got to be
switching over. So you're going in locked and loaded, already laying down the right rounds.
Yep.
Everything's hunky-dunky. He's starting to backpedal. And if he was killing me at that point, he's backpedaling a little bit, gets a little bit of the fire off me. Maybe I survive. We keep going. It's good stuff.
Yeah, it's good.
Had a lot of fun. Had a lot of fun with everybody who joined the stream, came out and hung out with us that night. And a lot of them that were there that night were also with you on the Fright Night on Friday.
Man, that stream was wild. Good. It was too much.
It was fun. Everybody's going nuts. Everybody's talking.
I'm playing a game. I can't look away from the game because I got to watch the robots so they don't murder me. And I look down, it's like 80,000 comments. I go, oh no. Well, I hope everybody's having a good time, but we can. Oh man.
And I was laughing. I was just laughing because the med bay is the hardest part of this whole game. And that's where the alien's at the most. That's what I was telling you about, where the alien's like actively just all over the flipping place constantly. And then you got all these people, everyone's talking and doing things, and I'm like, Matt's trying to play, and I'm like, I just want quiet. I want to watch Matt play. Because I knew too that with everybody, and it's so great to have everybody in there chatting though. So don't get me wrong. But on a personal note, I'm just like, man, I just want to see Matt actually have to focus here and get scared because he's just in the moment and the alien's just hunting him down, constantly screwing him over. But of course, when you got all those people doing that and you're just having fun and going, it's not as tense anymore.
Yeah.
Because now, even like you were saying in your own little shtick, that at that point, if he was getting you, you're just like, oh, okay, he murdered me. All right, let's just go around the next time. We'll get it. Okay. And then you're looking at chat going, oh, yeah, that's cool. Doing that. Yeah. Instead of just in the thing where you're trying to be sneaky and you think you got it and you just, and you're like, oh, Jesus. You don't get many of those moments because you're kind of back and forth with your attention and just.
Say, even in the back of my head, it's just, I know Joe and Sean and people are in there talking about something. Maybe that it adds like a little bit more tension because I know a bunch of people are watching. But then, like you said, when it happens, I can just be like, and look down and see you go, lol, gotcha, and stuff. It's like, it's not, it's fun. It's just different. It's a unique experience I've never had before.
But either way, I had fun watching that on Friday. I had a great time playing Wolfenstein.
Oh, yeah.
And then on top of it all, that Saturday, I went out to Moveville, took our girls out there, went with the whole Girl Scout troop, got us like the 2-hour guided tour over here, folks. We're just traveling through. We're talking with cows. We're doing the whole nine. Yeah, if you didn't know milk cows, they can talk. Duh, science. Here you go. Learned something today. So we're talking to these milk cows, hanging out with them, seeing how they're doing, watching them do the whole milk shtick. It's pretty neat because I used to milk cows, if you didn't know, a long time ago. I did it. I was on a farm. My parents abandoned me and left me on a farm for like a month.
Yeah.
So I had to milk cows, chase pigs. So I grew up hating farming. It taught me a valuable lesson. Anyways, back then, and even this wasn't hardcore old school, but you had to get the cows into the barn there, and then you had to get the feed put in there so they'd all come in their little aisles, and then you had to turpentine on the teats, and then after that you took these little mechanical suckers and right up on the teats, and they had to go bloop 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 bloop, and then the farmer man, he would tell me when to take them off. I didn't have to worry about it. I just petted the cow, relaxed, kept the cow chill, and the cow was eating, it didn't care. So I did this with all the cows, and then he'd tell me which ones to unplug, pop, 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 off they go, herd them all out. I'd turn on the fire hose, I'd put it up on my shoulder, I'd squirt shit all the way down the line, push the poop all the way out the barn, clean up, put fresh feed in, next batch of cows. That's how you did it, all right? This is what you did, and you did this 3 times a day. Sorry, I'm cussing, because you know what? It brings back terrible memories.
You really hate that farming gig.
I hated that farming gig. You know what I'm saying? You were up at like 3:30, 4 in the morning.
That's
and they had me
farmer life,
sleeping
man.
on this cot in a spare bedroom the whole time. Granted, the meals were fantastic. I can't complain about that. It was always a very hearty breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah, I basically work farmer hours. I get up at 4:45 in the morning.
So anyways, I've got experience. I know what it's like to live on a farm and work on, farmer, the farmer life. So we get here and we get to the point where I'm like, oh yeah, you guys get to see what Daddy did, No, they got these robots now where the cows just come up in here of their own accord, mind you. Their own accord. You don't even got to push them in there. You don't got to prompt them. When they're full, they walk in, and this robot does this digital scan of them. And then if they were flying trying to get some extra food, it goes, opens the gate, pushes the cow out. Cow goes back into the herd and does what it wants. If the cow is full, it goes ding. It shuts the gate door, which has a bunch of feed that a robot arm put in it. The cow now just goes, nom, 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 starts eating. The robot then takes a bunch of spray and goes under the cow, cleans it up, scrubs it up, does 2 rotations of this, and then it takes a laser scan of where the teats are. It goes bloop, 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 bloop. Puts on the suckers. It sucks all the milk out. You can see it go through the tubes into the tank. Automatically knows by magic how it's done when it's done. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Unplugs them. The robot arm lifts back up. The gate opens. The cow walks out. The next cow walks in, and it rinses and repeats. The farmers don't have to do anything anymore. It's freaking nuts.
That
It's
is
nuts.
magical. Oh my God, that's amazing.
It's crazy. It is. It's literally amazing. And then the milk from this tank that you just saw goes up this tube, goes into this other tube over your head, and then it goes down this long pipe all the way to the main building, where then it goes straight into the pasteurizers and starts to spin and do all of its little science and crap. And then poop, shoots out into the jugs that you see in the rotation room, and then they pop the caps on and they sell it to you. It's that simple. It's like stupid crazy. I'm like, I want to do this one. I want to do this one. This is the farming I wanted to do.
See, I actually went on their website today because I was like, oh, maybe I'll swing out there on Saturday to try out the crazy ice cream. And I was like, oh yeah, these 2-hour tours. And I was like, I don't know about that in public tours. Now, hell yeah, I want to go on a 2-hour tour, get myself a little goodie bag and a ice cream treat at the end of it, and see these crazy robots. And I mean, I knew it had to be like, I've seen like the milking machines, but I didn't know it was like, it's robots now. Like that's
It's
too.
insane.
It's wild. It's too cool.
Yeah, it is. And then they keep like the different cows separate that are pregnant. And then I learned that, and this I didn't know, they only breed the cow twice. So the cow has one baby once it's a couple years old. Then they give it a little break. Then they have another baby, and then it gets a vacation. And then they put it into the milking breed.
Okay.
And then, so all the cows that are pregnant or going to get pregnant, they keep separate. And then they have these red tags around them that monitor their blood pressure and heartbeat and the amount they walk. Because apparently, once they walk a certain amount of steps, average per day, it means they're in heat and ready to have a baby.
Nice.
So, like, the farmers just have all these digital computers and monitors that monitor all the cows, so they don't have to go chasing them around all the time and figuring it out. They just go to their computers and go, okay, Betsy's out over on quadrant C and she's ready to have a baby. Let's go do this. And
That's awesome.
Nuts, man. It's just nuts.
That's great.
So, yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty neat. And, of course, now that I've wasted, like, a ton of time talking to you about cows, has nothing to do with video games, I'll just close it up by quickly saying that.
You know what? No, you can gamify the farmer lifestyle now. The more points you get for the more milk produced, there you go. You can tie that back in. Look at all the stats and video game and computer stuff. That's all video games, man. Bessie's level 35 milk machine.
35
Boom.
cow, yeah. She's putting out all that milk, boy. God, it's terrible. No, goodness. So, yes, I've been playing the Wolfenstein. I've been playing me some Rage 2. I've been playing me some freaking Borderlands. I've been playing me some World of Warcraft. What else? Oh, man, I've been all over the place. Persona 4 Golden. I am the man of many missions, the man of many moons, the man who needs to clean this freaking thing up and get this over with. Mm-hmm. And we're going to do it because we got too many games on the horizon. We got to get this page wrapped up and done. But that's a story for another time. Beyond that, nothing much going on. Camping out pretty soon, hence why we're doing this on a Wednesday. Spoiler alert.
Unless it's Thursday.
Unless it's Thursday. Oh, did I not go camping? I don't know. We'll never know.
You know, that's always the chance. Maybe you're just sitting at home for 2 days playing Rage 2. You bastard. You just tell everybody at work, I gotta go camping, y'all. It's going to be so stressful.
Sorry. I wouldn't put it past me. But with that, that's the end of my week.
So that was us individually this week. Together as a team this week, we did nothing except recorded segments for the What You Playing Third Shift for this month. That's going to be dropping over on the Patreon once I do my Editing King magic. And if you're at that $3 or up tier, you're going to want to listen to this one. I'm putting in a little extra effort. We got a nice theme going. It's going to be good. It might be the end of all things. I might burn out and never be on a show again or edit anything ever again, but it's going to happen, and it's going to be good.
It is going to be good, folks. All right? We did our own little shtick. I ain't saying nothing about nothing, but I'm going to say it's going to be fun.
That's right. And then coming up next week, you can look out for IG2G episode 59. It's going to be fun stuff. Hey, we might even talk about Wolfenstein since that dropped sometime, you know? Hey, ha, hoo, hoo, hoo.
Oh, no way. You think? A brand new game just came out and we both played it? There's no way that's going to end up there.
But then something that always ends up here on the show is shift codes for Golden Keys in Borderlands, the pre-sequel. So hit up the Twitter, the Reddit, the forums, the Instagram. Also, hit up our Twitter account. Hit up our buddy at 10K Beers on Twitter because he's giving you all the VIP codes. He's the hashtag VIP reporter. He's hooking you up. So if you're a Borderlands VIP, you know what to do. Just get the codes, put it in. You get some free loot there, and you use the shift codes for Golden Keys in Borderlands pre-sequel to get some free loot. And then, hey, something else we're going to be talking about later in the episode. There's a trailer that dropped like yesterday or 2 days ago, whenever we're recording this, that had another shift code in it. What's it for? Who knows? But there's shift codes there too. Shift codes everywhere. Codes, shift codes, get them all. Get them all. Do all the things.
I'm telling you, if you just follow 10K, man, he's dropping all them codes. And if you want to get a hold of that really cool Borderlands 3, exotic that's going to help you get your step forward and get your game on, you need to be putting these in. And you need to be following everybody to get all these codes and get your points so you can get it. I'm a lost cause. You can't, as the buddy would say, hey, you can't fix an old dog. I can't be fixed. I don't know how codes input. I don't know what they are. It's too much, man. Got to go on these websites and do things. It's crazy.
See, I'm like a middle-aged dog because I started up and I got my VIP stuff and I put in a bunch of codes and then like 8 million more came out and I went, oh, geez, ain't nobody got time for all these codes. Shucks, I'll put some in later, and I never did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if only we'd compile them all into one giant, easy, simple list. And then I could just go to the website and put the list on the other monitor and just sit there for 10 minutes and going, clickety-clack, clickety-clack, click. Clickety-clack, clickety-clack, click.
Even better, if it was just, hey, like this tweet, and your linked email for your Shift account will get the
Well,
points.
see it.
Because I can push one button, but I can't type. I don't know. I don't have
It's
thumbs.
too much.
That I lost
crazy.
them. I lost them in the milking machine accident. They're gone.
But and that's just it, man. When you get to be our age, only clicking one button or one thing is the way to go. It's the only way to go. Just like when you drop a trailer and all you got to do is click go on it and
Yeah.
you get to watch it. It's a beautiful thing. I did it. I watched it. I watched it because, it was one button. And what I watched, it was that Zane trailer, boys and girls. Clickety-clack. I clickety-clack that button and watched me a Zane trailer, and I was impressed.
I watched that trailer twice because I clicked the button a second time, which was the little arrow in a circle button that did the repeat. And I went, I'll watch this again. Heck yeah. It was a good time. I think this is the first time. Obviously, we've seen the gameplay reveals, but I never really heard his voice enough in that to understand that he was like an Irishman with the cool Irish accent. And I was like, oh, wow, that's not at all what I was expecting for some reason, because I don't know. But I liked the trailer, and I liked being drunk at a bar talking to yourself. That's great. That's a theme I can really appreciate.
Yeah, I was digging that. I was digging the whole, I've had many jobs in my lifetime. Because you know what? I've had many jobs in my lifetime. I can relate.
You're a milkman.
I just told you guys a story about being a milkman. I worked at Granger. I picked up trash for a few weeks. I've done it all, boys. Just like Zane. I've been in the freaking boots. I know what it's like to be a plumber. Okay? I know what it's like to be a bug eradicator. Okay? It was awesome. The trailer was great. I love the whole theme behind it was fantastic. The only part that got me was the very end when he's like, "All right, time to get to work," and then he turned to start shooting. I was like, "Oh no, that's the typical ending." But of course, there was no other way to end it. So had fun with it. Big props to whoever put that all together.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And we know our buddy Ash was the individual behind, of course, making that whole freaking doppelganger.
Oh yeah.
So and it looked really darn good. So. Definitely a shout out to Ash and everybody else who worked on that and all the different assets and VFX, et cetera, because it was fun. I appreciated it.
And speaking of our buddy Ash doing all the VFX, he had an exclusive interview with our also friend of the show buddy, Mental Mars, talking all about VFX working at Gearbox and having a good time over there. Well, a couple things I pulled out of this, because, it was a fairly basic interview, but what I really liked was they kind of talked about the visual style of the effects for the Borderlands games and how you can kind of see it a little bit. He said they were drawing inspiration for how to, make the effects in Borderlands 1 from stuff like RoboCop, like a hyper-realistic, hyper-violent kind of style. And you can see it more in there because it's a darker kind of, more mature style.
I was super impressed and happy because in 1 there was quite a bit of blood and whatnot.
Yeah.
And 2 it kind of all went away. It became really mellow, chill. And then now in 3, like you said, you can see that hyper big time blood and gore and stuff happening. And I was happy. I love blood and gore. I love it when you shoot something and it spurts and has a bad time. It's fantastic. And then to know that our good buddy Ash was the one that's making that kind of effects and doing it, I'm like, even better.
And you said now that it's back in Borderlands 3, it's back and it's over the top. And they were saying that was the inspiration from like Ash and Evil Dead. So you're going from a more serious blood all over the place, Borderlands 1 with the old school RoboCop, to silly, fun, but also blood and guts and gore and all kinds of good stuff with Ash versus Evil Dead. So it's a totally, once you hear it, you're like, yeah, that totally makes sense. It's great.
I was really enjoying the whole part where he was talking about some of the difficulties in creating, these different VFX pieces. And one quick case in point he was pointing out was when he was making the shield for Zane and how, like, people were complaining that they couldn't really see through it right. It was kind of hazy, fuzzy, etc.
Yeah.
So he was trying to make it more opaque, and then he also put in the peephole so that way snipers, could get a good clear line vision through. And even he said it, and I would agree wholeheartedly, is that it's these little weird things that, you end up spending months trying to fix and figure out that the player will never really notice. The player is just going to go and have a good time and put up the shield, shoot through it, and never realize all the work and different iterations it took to get that shield to be where it needed to be, so it wasn't something you cared about or paid attention to and got annoyed with. Really cool.
Yeah, definitely that. And then what I think came right before it, where he was talking about, we can make all these effects, but you have to make sure they all work in the game. Like if they obscure, if it's an explosion over here that obscures what's behind it, that's still no good. You have to find a way to get all the transparencies and translucencies, and you have to make it work for like a camera that you are totally not in control of. Like as you're designing it, here's an explosion here. Maybe the player's over there looking over here. Maybe if you see it through the back, it has a wrong thing. So it's that kind of like nitty gritty type of detail work that I really like the mental challenge of, I guess I would say. So that sounds really cool.
Yeah, and then on top of it all, and this ties in, he was mentioning how some of the hardest stuff to do is stuff that interacts with the gameplay itself. Mm-hmm. And it's just something you don't think about. Once again, it always comes back to that, which is, it's sad because, VFX artists, these guys and gals are like the unsung heroes because all this minutia, you're just playing the game, having fun with an explosion, doing this, having that rock and roll, and you don't care. You're passing by all sorts of really cool stationary objects and items that somebody designed, popped in the game as a 3D object. Yep. You don't give two poops about. And for them, of course, the stuff that isn't interactive, like you said, they can just make and put in and it doesn't get touched. It's just there. It's fixed. But then actually things that interact with the player and you happen to then go, well, if they do this to it or that to it or this happens to it or they're on this angle or that angle, and all of a sudden all these intricacies of how this one item can go with them interacting and playing with it and what they've got to do to make it work, that's too much. I'd just go insane. I'd like, and I'd cry and I'd quit.
I just love seeing that because I'm that guy who, when I get a game and I've got free time or I'm not trying to advance, I like trying to do all the weird stuff. I like trying to put things the way where they're not supposed to be, or trying to interact with things in the way I'm not supposed to. So to know, it, but to hear it and see it that, we have to do all that stuff behind the scenes to make it even possible for you to do it right, and then have to deal with it if you didn't try to force it in wrong. It's just good. I like it. I like knowing that my fun is also experienced by them on the back end, but I guess it's work, so that now I feel bad.
Right. Now you're like, oh man, that poor son of a gun had to work his tail off or her tail off to make us work. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I'll try to appreciate everything a lot more, I'll just try my best. Gosh. And then, of course, he talked about creating Zane's doppelganger and some of the motivations that went behind making that whole thing. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And he said 6 to 7 months to get that right. I mean, that's nuts. This is nuts. 6, 7 months of working on this one model, this one VFX piece to get it right to where everyone's liking it, everyone's believing it, everyone's feeling good with it and putting it in game. Imagine that. It's this one piece. You're like, hey, this is what I'm doing. Here we go. I'm sure in between there was some like small, easy peasy stuff that got worked on too. But that's your focus. That's your focal point for that many months.
But how good does that feel at the end of month 7 when you like it, your team likes it, they shoot it upstairs, they love it, they put it upstairs to whoever the ultimate approval is, and they go, yep. I mean, we do a lot of day-to-day work. We don't do a lot of like big project work. But I feel like that would be so fulfilling to just, you're hammering away at it, tweak it, make it good. Yep, love it. Boom, it's in the game. It's in a game that millions of people are going to play right now.
Forever.
I'd be just king of the world Jones over here, yeah.
And you can see it though too. Whenever Ash talks about it, if you follow him on Twitter, which you should be doing, he's a great individual, fantastic guy. He's proud of it. He's mentioned it several times. Hey, Zane's my dude. I didn't think he'd be my dude, but he's my dude. And guess what? I'm also in charge of creating his doppelganger. It was fantastic. I love it. Everybody else loves it. And I agree. It looks really darn good. I like it. I can't wait to play with Zane. He's not going to be my main. I'm sorry, Ash. Forgive me. But I will be playing with Zane because, well, I'm going to be playing with all of them over the next 6, 7 months, however long it takes to get through all of them. But I'll be playing all of them. He was great. He is going to be great. And we're going to speak more on him, too.
That's right. We're going to speak more on him right now because they dropped
what?
they dropped a little bit of a skill tree overview. It's not the skill tree calculator that I want with the whole skill tree and all the things that
Getting
let me
close.
clicky.
We're getting there.
But it's getting there. It's like a third of the way there. It's good because we got the action skills, descriptions of them, and then for each tree we got about 3 skills underneath it, talking about specifically how they work with those action skills. Really cool article. I don't know if we want to go through like all of it because that'd be like verbatim Jones. It'd be forever.
No, we won't go through all of it. I would say just some highlights, and I'll start off by saying, all right, the doubled agent. That's one of the big skill trees, all right? In general, this one I thought would probably be my favorite, but after reading what they've posted thus far, it is not. It didn't quite make it out. I love the idea of having the double helping you out, but I don't know. For me, I find in games that it's kind of rush roulette whenever you're dealing with that sort of thing, putting out the other agent, and in theory, the decoy should be getting all the attention and allowing you a break to get your health back, armor back, or circle around and get behind things, and that's kind of where it's going, but I just don't feel like I have much luck with that. So after reading some of these abilities and whatnot, I was like, cool, but not for me. What about you?
I feel like for me, double agent is kind of what made me more excited about Zane. Like, having the drone, obviously we love that. Death Trap or Wolf and Saint for Wilhelm. And then having a shield, obviously we know shields are cool, and especially the buff party stuff that we'll get into in a second. But I like the ability to swap places with your digiclone. I love that because, granted, I don't know if it's going to run in or run out or if it has, a good AI with it or if it's just going to stand there and shoot. But I like the ability of, okay, I put it out and I'm trying to get out of dodge, but whatever is following me and the trouble's still with me, whoop, now I'm ported over somewhere else. I like any kind of get out of jail free factor like that. And then since there's that skill in there that says anytime you swap, you get damage buffs. It makes me wonder if you can go pop, 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 at least like more than just once, because that would be amazing too. I love, like, you'd be bamfing around the battlefield like Nightcrawler. Like, I don't think you can do it all the time, but if you could do it more than just the once, boop, over here aggro, poop, over here aggro, poop, or skills down.
Well, I think they showcased it in the trailers a bit, where I think it sort of showed him popping up and over a couple times. So I think you're right. I think once you build some stuff up and get things rolling, you're going to be able to do it a couple times, not just one time, and that's it.
See, I feel like something like that, especially with increased damage, increased aggro, or I put out the digiclone next to you, run away, oh, you're down, need a res, poop, I'm here, whoop, poop, now I'm not. That's it sounds too good. I don't know, dude.
Sounds pretty cool, but you know what? It sounds okay, but for me, it's the Sentinel. All right. The Sentinel, which is one of the other action trees here, that's the one that gets me wanting to play Zane. Of course, this is your typical, you get a drone helping you out, he's flying around, shooting people with a machine gun. But what really sold me was the fact that it boosts your killing power. So with the right skill set, right maneuvers, you're going to be able to up your damage significantly. And on top of that, you got the drone helping you out. Not only is the drone helping you out, but the drone's also going to get cryo damage at some point.
Yeah.
And for me, when I just instantly, when I thought, oh my gosh, when you drones going around freezing everybody and then you're just popping them, especially since most of the abilities in this one increase your power and increase your DPS, and then you're hitting cryo individuals, you're going to wreck face. You're going to be an unstoppable force. And then on top of it, one of the main skills is salvation, which gives you life stealing, abilities. So once you kill enemies, you get more life. So you're just going around sucking life, killing people like nobody's business. I'm like, yeah, this one is what made it. I got to play some Zane. That's going to have to happen.
Now here you brought up a cool thing with the drone getting cryo damage. What I loved about this skill tree overview is there's so many skills in here that also correlate with the other action skills. And since we know Zane can have 2 at a time, like right here underneath Sentinel, there's the See in Red skill, which activates your kill skills anytime you activate an action skill. So I can have, boop, I'll put the drone out, oh, get my kill skills up, oh, they're starting to go away, boom, digiclone up. And then if warping between them counts as another action skill, boom, boom, kill skills all the time. And then you said if it's getting cryo damage, there's one in the shield thing about every time Zane freezes an enemy, he gets buffs and cool stuffs too. I don't have it pulled up right now, but it's just, I love how instead of just being in the tree for that one tree, like you get things that hold hands across all the skill trees. That's the kind of stuff I love. I love that.
Yeah, the synergy between those three, and you know it was purposely done since Zane is allowed to use two, not just one. It's fantastic. It was well thought out. And, of course, the last one, as you already mentioned, was the shield build, which was Undercover, right? Undercover, I think it was called.
Yeah, Undercover.
And that's where you get the barrier. And, unfortunately, this is the least pleasant one for me because I play with people who are insane and crazy and nobody ever sticks together and does anything coordinated. So this would only be a waste of my life unless I did the shield that's only wrapped around me and then went forward. So being like a kind of like a little tank, which that's a possibility. Don't get me wrong. If I see some really cool skills attached to it or something, especially since the cryo damage goes insane with the shield build. But other than that, I just, as soon as it went barrier, I just laughed because I'm like, yeah, I'm going to set up this barrier. I set up the barrier and nobody's going to be by me. Nobody's going to stay behind the barrier. And then, of course, I'll get swamped by enemies and have to get out from back behind the barrier. So the barrier will just be sitting there completely useless. And I'll just have a wasted, stupid skill that I'll never use. So, sorry. That one didn't sound fun to me.
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much agree with that. Like when I play solo, it'll be great. Just like any time I put a turret up or, you know, anything in other...
Because you're funneling them where you want them to be.
Yeah, I'm putting the barrier across the bottleneck right here, and I'm standing right behind it, so I'm getting the gun damage, I'm getting all the other bonuses. But yeah, my friends are your friends. We're all just crazy random idiots who, you know, I try, but sometimes that's where the explosions are, and I can't stand there, so I got to just run. There's nothing I can do. But I mean, I mentioned it before, calm, cool, and collected. Every time you freeze somebody, you regen shields, then health, then action skills. So if you have that C in red, if you got calm, cool, collected, you're regenning your action skills so you can use them more, so you can use C in red more, and you got more kill skills up all the time, and you pop it between your digiclones. It's wild. It's crazy. It makes me want to play him. I want to main him right now just looking at these.
I was going to say, the synergy is awesome. It looks great. I can't wait to check it out. But, of course, my main's going to be Maz. And, of course, tomorrow, since we've already spoiled it, is Thursday. And that's when they're going to be revealing Maz's whole little shtick on how she came to be where she is. And then I'm sure we'll get another little cool boilerplate edition of, skills. Yeah,
dude, next week is going to be wild. We'll talk about Moze just like this, Amara just like this, Flax just like this. Dude, it's going to be great.
It's going to be awesome. I can't wait. It's going to be exciting. So, of course, if you guys want like the in-depth version of everything, head on over to theborderlands.com. They've got the whole Zane, how to play Zane up there. They got the Zane trailer. If you haven't seen it, go check both out. You'll get points too. Hey, those VIP points like I was talking about earlier to get you that cool, sweet gear. And earlier, of course, we were talking about the interview with Mental Mars. I don't know if we mentioned it, but I'm going to say it one more time. Go check out mentalmars.com. He's got that really cool interview up. Ash is a good individual, solid folk. Check it out. Great guy, great interview. Good job, Mental Mars. Always on top of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Two good friends of the show, and Ash, a former guest on the show. Both really good dudes. Love them both. Props to both of them. And I think that pretty much wraps it up, except for... This is the Gearbox Podcast, so I'd be remiss if I didn't mention a little bit of Gearbox Publishing stuff. The Lightbearer DLC for We Happy Few did come out this week. I think it was the 30th, so yesterday as we're recording this. I haven't seen many reviews on it yet, but what I have seen is a little bit of explaining the gameplay of it. Like, you are Nick Lightbearer, a former rock star. You're kind of, the drugs and sex and rock and roll are taking a toll on you, so you're kind of on your downward spiral. But what I hear is really cool about this is you actually use your guitar in-game to solve puzzles, to affect enemies. Like, you don't use traditional weapons in the We Happy Few sense. You play riffs and chords to affect people, or open certain doors, or activate certain statues and stuff. So I feel like from, the one write-up I read so far, because again, I haven't seen much on it, they really kind of embraces that rock star feel of it. And plus they're saying the stuff that's normally bad for you, like drinking bunches of alcohol and caffeine and taking all your joy in that game, pumps you up because you're a rock star. You're full of drugs all the time. You're wilding out. So that regens your health. It does all the good stuff for you. So if you want an interesting spin on the We Happy Few formula, check out Light Bear because it sounds like a great time.
You know what? It's like real life. When you sober up, you die. So just stay high on the joy, and you're gonna be just fine.
I die a little each time I wake up sober, and I just go, oh man, back to being normal.
Don't listen to anything we say, children.
So you brought it full circle. You said don't trust us in the intro. Now here in the intro, also don't trust what we say.
Trust us. Oh, I'm so good at it.
So that pretty much wraps up this episode. Unless you got anything else, I got nothing else.
No, that's it.
And if you guys out there in listener land have got something for us, any questions, comments, concerns, any kind of feedback at all, you can send that to us via email at info@thirdshift.me. You can tweet it at us at ThirdShiftME, and you can find us on Facebook under Third Shift.
You can find us on Facebook. You can also find us over on the old Patreon. You like what you hear, please consider heading over there and giving us a tip. Yes, that's right. We treat it just like a tip jar. $1, $5, $5,000, $10,000, or maybe that coveted $1 million, in which case we'll build ourselves a food lion, and we'll have a whole aisle dedicated to babies in jars, and we'll have a mascot in the name of Danny running around being insane. All for you with video cams up and running. That's for the $1 million tier, folks. You know you want to see it. So you know what? Go to your buddy, say, hey, you want to invest? Give me 10 grand. Then you go do that. Go get your next buddy, invest. Do what you got to do. Throw it our way. And then you get to watch us change our very lives. This could be like a really cool, fun reality TV show. You never know. I'm just saying, make it happen. And if you can't, that's okay too. You can also support us in many other ways, like mailbag questions. 5-star ratings, not those 4-star ratings. I take back what I said. You know what? We got some new ratings. Someone out there gave us a 4-star, not the 5-star.
Disgusting.
How dare you? You did what I said, but I didn't mean it. I was just kidding. I was so sad. Actually, I'm not sad. 4 stars are still fantastic. But you know what? We really do appreciate those 5 stars. It helps us out. It's all the stupid rigmaroles, blah, blah, blah. Gets us up in the meters. You know the shtick. Everybody talks about it. Or you can like us, thumbs up us, check us out on Twitch, which we talked about earlier in the show. Follow us, subscribe, help us out, Amazon Prime, all that other crap. You guys all know the shtick. We appreciate you either in each way. Just listening to the podcast is fantastic, and we love each and every one of you.
Absolutely, we do. And you can listen to the podcast with our very next episode, which will drop on the 9th of August. And you can find that episode on iTunes, on Stitcher, on Podbean, on Spotify, and on YouTube. And as I always say, if you like what we're doing and you'd like to help us out, please give us a like, a rating, a review, comments, a subscription, any kind of good thing on any one of those good services, because it does help us out. And we really do appreciate it.
Indeed we do. We appreciate those 5 stars. Not so much them 4 stars, but we appreciate the 5 stars. You guys ruined it. We had all 5 stars, now we got like 4.7 or something. I don't even know.
When
what
I
did
looked,
you guys do?
And I didn't see all 5 stars fully lit. I died a little inside. It's like I woke up sober all over again.
Mm-hmm.
I just went,
see? Oh
no.
God, what happened? So it was a double-edged sword. It was great. We had some more people go throw us some more stars, which is fantastic. Oh, but someone did that 4-star. Ruined that perfect 5. Oh, yay. Tell you what. But we do appreciate you at least taking the time out of your day to go over there. That's really greatly appreciated. It's insane how so many people don't do it. So many people listen, but so many people don't do that. It's crazy. You wouldn't even, it's nuts. So head on over there and do us a favor. 5 stars. Bam, bing, bam, boom.
Absolutely. I mean, every podcast I love, I give them 5 stars. So do the same for us if you love us.
And if you don't love us, hey, you have yourself a great life, but without us in it. Thanks a lot. In other words, just walk away and leave us alone.
Until next time, there's nothing else to say, but
don't forget to save.
Shut up and sit down.